Chapter 2117 Destroy the Wulwan Empire. C.E. left Zheng Lu's room. At this time, the two people who were out on a mission had returned and were waiting. Zheng Lu called them both in and asked, "How is it going? What are the movements of the humans in Huashu country?" Animo bared his teeth and sneered. "They've been scared by us. The people in that city called Tianhai City have completely migrated away, probably heading inland. There are still some humans active in Donghai City. I've punished them slightly. If they don't leave, I will kill everyone there." Zheng Lu asked, "Are they showing no signs of gathering any troops?" When a lion fights a rabbit, it uses all its strength. Zheng Lu was forcing Zhang Yi and the others in the hope of completely enraging them and then starting a war, so that he could completely eliminate the top combat power of Huashu Kingdom. Animo spread his hands and laughed. Do they have the strength to fight against our Wulwan Empire?" Zheng Lu looked at the lizard girl Bang Lihuan next to him. She nodded as well. "We haven't detected any signs of them gathering their forces. These guys are cowardly and timid, and they don't have the courage to fight back against us." Zheng Lu doesn't think so. Never underestimate your enemy. Even that weak race was created by the Creator himself. We must always be on guard against them to avoid any setbacks. Bang Lihuan said, "Don't worry. Their technological level is too low. They don't have the ability to attack us at all. The Ulyan Empire is 25,000 meters deep from the ground. There is only one way for human troops to enter this area, and that is Star Island Mist Valley. After passing through the highly corrosive poisonous miasma area, go down along the abyss. The oxygen concentration underground is very thin, and the lizard men are accustomed to living in a low-oxygen environment. However, when humans enter this area, they find it difficult to adapt, just as the lizard men are not adapted to ultraviolet rays. If the Huashu army really dared to attack like this, they only needed to stay at the bottom of the cave and point the laser cannon camp at the sky to almost destroy them. What's more, they have a natural geographical advantage." Zheng Lu nodded. Of course, he understood this very well. "Okay then. In that case, let's prepare for the second tsunami." After the last attack, he was certain of one thing. People of the Dragon Clan would not easily appear on the surface world. Like him, they feared the will of the Creator. Second, the Dragon tribe does not care about human survival. Perhaps they just don't want other tribes to invade their territory. Therefore, tsunamis are a good offensive method. They only wash away the insects on the ground, but they will not destroy the land. If they still don't take any action after this time, we'll do it a third time and a fourth time. Zheng Lu looked at the huge world map in front of him. Following the direction of the ocean currents, we only need to slightly guide the weather, and combined with the power of the Doomsday weapon, it won't be very difficult. The 3 days passed quickly. On the third day, Zhang Yi finally received a reply from Xinjiang region. Not surprisingly, they agreed to provide weapons, resources, and manpower in the subsequent special military operations against the Ulyan Empire. However, the specific scale of assistance to be provided still needs to be discussed with Zhang Yi. After the Xinjiang region expressed its position, the Northeast region quickly responded, expressing its willingness to send troops. At this point, the entire Huashu Kingdom reached a combat agreement. The next thing that needs to be discussed is how large a force to mobilize to fight against the Wulwan Empire. And how to fight. In fact, the key reason why other regions are confused at this time is that the information revealed by Zhang Yi is too little. It is almost equivalent to Zhang Yi using his personal strength and credit as a guarantee, asking other regions to express their opinions when the situation is unclear. Although they have agreed now, they still feel that it is too absurd to directly attack the homeland of the Wulwan Empire. At most, they would form a blocking team at sea to fight against the Wulwan Empire's ocean cruising forces. Let's hold an online meeting. I'll explain the details to everyone in person. Zhang Yi sent a message directly to the top leaders of all regions. Soon, a high-level meeting with all senior executives from the 6 regions was held online. In a quiet conference room in Tianhai Fortress, everyone's projection appeared in the room, and it looked no different than everyone gathered together. In the Xinjiang region, Supreme Commander Meng Yuanjun and two of the strongest fighters were present. In the northeast region, veteran Commander Ji Chonghai, Han Shanzhua, and Hu Mengfang also showed up. The National Protection Army also participated in the meeting this time. The two men, namely the Black Emperor Zhuanxiu and the White Emperor Xiaohao, attended the meeting. The appearance of the two men in thick military uniforms made the atmosphere on the scene become much more solemn. There is only Xiao Lai in the northwest region. The southwest region is headed by the current Supreme Commander Luo Zhua and his trusted alien female warrior, Snow Mile, Bam. In the East China Sea region, there are Li Guangxiao, Suzaku, and Xuanwu. Zhu Zheng from the Jiangnan region and Zhang Yi and Yang Xinxin here. All those who possess the highest power and military force in the entire Huaxiu Kingdom gathered here. Hello everyone. This is the second time that the leaders of our various regions and the National Defense Army have gathered together. Zhang Yi spoke first. As the organizer of the meeting, he introduced the purpose of the meeting. Just like the previous meeting, the purpose of our meeting is to deal with the potential threat from the Wulwan Empire, as well as the imminent threat. Now all the regions have formed a united front and are willing to contribute troops, weapons, and energy. I am very pleased. This shows that everyone is united in purpose and effort. Zhang Yi said some polite words with a smile. In Shengjing District, Meng Yuanjun smiled faintly. Hundun, we're all old acquaintances. Tell us, what exactly do you want to do? And what do you need us to do for you? So we can be prepared. Zhang Yi crossed his hands on the table, smiling, but his eyes were extremely sharp as he slowly swept over everyone present. I wasn't clear about your attitude before, so I didn't make some things clear. This was also to avoid unnecessary trouble and panic. Zhang Yi emphasized the intonation of the last two words. When they heard this, the expressions of everyone present became much more serious. Panic? What kind of situation could cause the Supreme Commander and the strongest alien in the 6 districts of Huaxiu Kingdom to panic? A bad feeling arose in their hearts. Zhang Yi didn't keep the secret and said directly, "Let me be frank. My idea is to organize a powerful army composed of the top-level aliens and the most elite warriors, directly attack the headquarters of the Wulwan Empire, and completely eradicate this ancient civilization from the planet." Chapter 21:18 I am sure of victory. When these words were spoken, everyone's jaw dropped. What? Eradicate? Eradicate the Wulwan Empire? Han Shanzhua was sitting in a heated room in the northeast, with Hu Mengfang and Ji Chonghai next to him, but he still felt a chill. Zhang Yi's words frightened him. With their current strength, could they really defeat a powerful ancient country that had been passed down for billions of years? Han Shanzhua couldn't help but look at Hu Mengfang beside him. Old Hu, is there something wrong with my ears? Why did Hundun say that he was going to eradicate the Wulwan Empire? Hu Mengfang laughed bitterly. It seems you heard it right, he really said that. The entire conference room was filled with chatter, and all the major districts lost their composure and started a heated discussion. Even Zhu Zheng was sitting on a chair, with a look of surprise on his face. He knew that Zhang Yi took away the control of the God of Love and the nuclear materials used to create the God of Love in order to retaliate against the Wulwan Empire. But he couldn't have imagined that Zhang Yi was so brave. Chaos, your idea is a bit far-fetched, isn't it? With our current strength, even with the combined efforts of our entire nation, we might not be able to defeat the Wulwan Empire. And yet you say you want to destroy them? They are in the underground world, and we have no information about them. If we use all our national strength to attack, it will be tantamount to pushing Huaxiu Nation into an abyss of no return. Everyone spoke up and disagreed with Zhang Yi's crazy idea. This matter is too cost-effective, not to mention whether we can win. Even if we win, it seems to be a Pyrrhic victory at the moment, not worth it at all. Zhang Yi knew this would happen, so his expression remained calm. He just leaned back on the sofa, quietly waiting for everyone to shut up. Sure enough, when everyone saw Zhang Yi's reaction, they were not sure what he was thinking for a moment and stopped talking one after another. After they quieted down, Zhang Yi asked, "I'd like to ask you a question." Do you think you have a firm understanding of the power wielded by me and my team? This sentence stumped everyone. Zhang Yi had always kept the information about Tianhai City strictly blocked. It was only after he defeated King Arthur that everyone had a clearer understanding of his own strength. But so what? Tianhai City is a small city with a population of only tens of thousands and hundreds of aliens. No matter how powerful it is at most equivalent to the combat power of a region. No one thinks Zhang Yi has anything outstanding. Meng Yuanjun felt that Zhang Yi's tone was a little abnormal. He knew that Zhang Yi was not a reckless person, and it was even less likely that he would go and die, unless he really possessed the strength to shake the Wulon Empire. This idea was a bit outrageous, but Meng Yuanjun still asked, "Are you sure you can lead our people to destroy the entire Wulon Empire?" Zhang Yi chuckled, hee. At this point, I won't hide it anymore. There have been speculations about some things, and I can't hide them. So I'll just tell you. Fremons, that great god-level civilization we encountered. The one who finally passed the trial was me. Zhang Yi abducted Yang Xinxin. He habitually protected the people around him and took the main risks himself. This sentence made everyone's heart beat wildly. The power of the Yihan people has been witnessed through images by senior leaders of all countries in the world. That is an unimaginable, super powerful ancient civilization. I'm afraid that just the octopus-shaped mechanical life form soldiers guarding that civilization can destroy many super powerful human kingdoms. Now, Zhang Yi said that he had inherited that civilization, but clearly at that time he was covered in wounds and said he had failed. Gradually, people looked at Zhang Yi with envy, fear, and gnashing of teeth. They thought that if it was Zhang Yi, he would indeed be able to do such a thing. He clearly got all the benefits, but in the end he pretended to be a failure so that others wouldn't know his true strength. No wonder you were so generous back then. After returning from Fremons, you gave us a lot of mechanical life forms for research in various regions. So, you got the most valuable reward. Han Shanzhua sighed deeply. I told you, that's not your style. Everyone was filled with curiosity, wanting to know what Zhang Yi had gotten from the Yihan tribe, but they didn't dare to ask directly. Zhang Yi hadn't finished speaking yet. He continued, "Not long ago, I was invited to North Africa. I'm so sorry, but I secretly went there to do something important. Do you remember the huge demon that appeared over Chernobyl that day?" Ho Tu nodded. Zhulong, the mythical beast of the ancient times recorded in the classic of mountains and seas, is the highest-level demon god. In Western mythology, he is known as Mammon, the sin of greed, one of the 7 demon lords of hell. Zhang Yi said calmly, I went to the Devil's Eye and united with some Nordic countries and the Junjing Church to seal it up. Inside the conference room, the silence was so great that one could hear a pin drop, and only the sound of people sucking in a breath of cold air could be heard. Everyone's eyes were wide open, and they looked at Zhang Yi as if he were a monster. Most of them are not aware of this matter. Only the Shengjing region heard about this matter through its powerful intelligence network. Just hearing Zhang Yi say this with her own ears, Ho Tu's expression still showed some hesitation. She felt that Zhang Yi was a madman who was always taking risks. However, it was precisely because he kept entering various restricted areas that he was able to grow rapidly to where he is today. In contrast, other people are basically standing still. For a moment, Ho Tu was filled with emotion, but at the same time, she was also grateful to Zhang Yi. If Zhang Yi and his companions had not gone to North Africa and triggered the bronze pillar formation in the sealed area, she would not have been able to enter the Dragon Kingdom and obtain the inheritance of that predecessor. Zhang Yi picked up a cup from his hand and took a sip of hot coffee. So, the power I possess now, everything I master, is far beyond your imagination. Don't ask me what I got. There are some things I can't tell you yet. They are secrets. But you can be sure that since I dare to start this war, I am sure of victory. The certainty of victory. What an arrogant tone. So arrogant that anyone who says it will be ridiculed by everyone. But that person happened to be Zhang Yi. Throughout the entire Huashu kingdom, Everyone knows that he is the most afraid of death and the most stable man. So this statement has a high degree of credibility. Stay with me. We'll try to get you more updates. Please like and subscribe and share the video with your friends. Love you all.